So this is some crazy shit, right? So one of the reasons that you keep avoiding abundance and avoiding manifesting money and avoiding having like pleasure in your life is because you expect someone else to do well and then for you to kind of soak up some of that wellness for yourself, right? And you think that's the way to succeed in this world, right? So it's like you want someone else to succeed, and you be like their assistant or their partner or something else. But you, for the life of you, cannot accept success coming directly at you, right? Meaning like for instance, that you'll have a TikTok and your TikTok will do well, but like you'll soak up the influence from being a TikToker rather than actually in your own life having influence and feeling that powerful, right? So that's the difference, right? It's like someone who has a bunch of money from their business, but like they themselves don't feel that powerful. Or it could be even more overt, where it's like a parent that has like a lot of pride in their children, but doesn't have a lot of pride in themselves. So wait, what you got to understand, this paradigm comes from having to fight your parents when you were younger, right? Having to fight your parents specifically to get things, right? If you wanted something, you had to fight this person. You literally had to go into a conflict. You and this person had to argue it out. And so as a result of that, you got really good at arguing. So you started to kind of perceive the world through arguing. Because think of it, if you're a child that's always like fighting with their parents, then getting better at arguing is in your best interest, right? And so you're naturally going to try to do that. You're going to watch shows. You're going to be drawn to things that have that conflictual element so that you can learn about it. This is why a lot of people like fighting shows and stuff like that, because that allows them to kind of fuel up subconsciously for their next fight, right? And so as a child, that's kind of how it got imprinted onto you. And so naturally, you look at the world and think, oh, if I want something, I have to fight to get it. Because that was the fuck how your parent like treated you. It's bullshit. Because you should have just got what you wanted. But here's the thing: now that you look at the world this way, you think in order to get something, you have to really fight to get it, right? And for you, you hate the fact that life is like this. Like, even though you're naturalized to it, it is like painful to live this way. And we live in a world where you see other people not living this way. So it can create a little bit of like, what the fuck? What's the point of this shit? Like, am I cursed? A lot of people think that way. Am I cursed? Right? And so as a result of that, you will decide that you don't want to work as hard. You want someone else to do all the work. And then as a result of their work, you will benefit, right? And that's just how you treated your parent. You were like, okay, my parent is not going to give me this PS5 just because I asked for it. So I'm going to do my best to make them look good so that they feel like giving me the PS5. You see? And so you give someone else success so you can get what you want, right? Or it's like, my parent is not going to fucking, um, like, my dad's not going to drive me to the ballet. But if I do the ballet dance in front of his guests and they're really impressed, then he'll be like, "Oh, I got to invest in this now." So you see, you had to get your resources in life in a roundabout way, and so it created a paradigm for you that's kind of entrapping, right? And so you see the world as like pure survival, like manipulation, tactics, hustle, 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 hustling people, hustling yourself, hustling your lover, hustling your grandma, hustle, 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 hustle. Everyone, no one can be trusted. I gotta do the work. And it's like terrible because like this way blocks you off from the natural love connection you have to the world, right? Because the love connection of the world is felt through automatic reception of like questions. Like the universe is hyper responsive to you, like naturally, because you're manifesting reality, right? So we're going a little bit into the metaphysical reality here, right? So you're manifesting reality, right? So everything around you is going to follow that mental schemata first of all, right? But if you were to change that mental schemata to let it go, then you would naturally fall into a more abundant schemata, because that's a very tight and rigid way of looking at the world, right? Because that makes it so that the only things in the world that seem viable and interesting are things that help you do better in conflict. And so you forget about all the beauty in the world. This is like the warrior's dilemma. It's like I fought all these fucking wars, but I forget that I'm standing on like this most beautiful valley, looking over these cliffs and breathing this beautiful air and like touching these beautiful people, and like you forget all that because you're so focused on the conflict, right? And this is probably why you have social anxiety as well, because you can't relax. In this way of looking at the world, you always want people to succeed so you can look back so that you can get something from it, but that requires you to have special attention to make that happen. Right? So you got to focus. You got to realize how much of your focus is going into this, and what percentage of that is actually going into like being here in the fucking present moment with reality. Are you actually? When's the last time you connected to your fucking children? When's the last time you actually fucking did anything? Or did you only do that through the lens of like they did something, let me give them something? Or for you in your own personal life, if you're single, it's like when's the last time I actually connected to myself? and actually just sat in my own energy and just was like, here, right? Let's do it right now. Fuck it, right? Like, come back to the sensation of right now, right? Just like whatever thoughts you were thinking, fuck them. Like literally just disconnect and just go into the sensation, the texture of how your body feels, your energy feels, right? Imagine it all over your body. How does it feel? How does it feel to actually be you, right? But interestingly enough, when you live in this paradigm, right, this paradigm for so long, you forget that and you become almost like a person that's always looking for external validation because your life depends on it. Literally. And you've made it so that your life depends on it. It's not because life naturally depends on that. As a child, you would not have developed that paradigm unless you were traumatized in that way. Because your parents should have just given it to you. That's just a child parent agreement. Automatic. Like you literally brought me here. You know what I mean? That's not a privilege. That's a right. Right? You literally, like, my body is literally dependent on your body. Like, it's like not anyone's body, your body. So like my life is in your hands. So there's a bit of trust that should have happened there that didn't happen there. There was a sanctity that was violated, and that may feel painful to feel. But the real shit is that you should have been there, right? And if it was there, you would have developed a paradigm with the world that was based on abundance, where things just naturally came to you, where you were naturally more intuitive, connected to the world around you, able to locate yourself, able to find yourself, able to be in yourself, instead of having to constantly escape and then like create these weird experiences just to get some sort of benefit from it. It's fucking crazy. But anyway, thank you for listening. If you want coaching, check out my link above my head, and peace.